any further.
Oh, man.
Yeah, be the dungeon master, Jared.
Sure, yeah, do it.
But you have to make cool sounds,
Be our host.
special effects.
Your hostess and hostess.
All these just enormous rips, ass rips from
You
Remi.
need the radio DJ, the morning DJ voice.
Oh,
Always.
quick
And
thing.
welcome to KEXP!
Perfect. Yeah, let's talk with Duelyst. I'm still composing myself after that segue from Remi. Take a deep breath. It's just like, it's hot stuff. So-
Get out of here.
Duelyst is a Kickstarter. Comes to us by Counterplay Games out of San Fran. I want to say, yeah, as of this recording, it's pretty fresh. The campaign just went up today. And they already have 419 backers. They're looking for $68,000, and they've already racked up 21,601. And what this is, Duelyst is a squad-based tactical combat game. So it's mixing sort of like tile-based army versus army, turn-based strategy with collectible card games. It's not so apparent from the screenshots, but yeah, there is going to be a CCG element to this. So you have spells and units. You play on the board, all that stuff. A really interesting thing with this game, or there are a few. First thing is that the developers come from some heavy-hitting places, I would say. You have the developers who were from Diablo 3 team. I think the lead on this project was a lead producer for Diablo 3 and other Blizzard projects. And you also have the artist and maybe some other guys who worked on Rogue Legacy. So some high-profile stuff there already. And the game itself looks pretty nice. When I first saw it, I chuckled to myself because I thought, man, this art style is just perfect for, say, Justin. And Justin loves these type of games too, as do I, turn-based tactics. And it does remind me a bit of something like Hyperlight Drifter, and I want to say maybe Scrolls, just a tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely tout that their art style and their, I guess, backstory is they made up an acronym. It's called NAGF, or NAGF, not another generic fantasy. And you can be the judge of that yourself. It's not entirely original, I would say, but it's got some really interesting things. If you scroll down on the campaign page, you can see some nice concept art. You can see that it's got sort of that fantasy tech vibe. You know, could get some influence from Guild Wars if you played that game, where it's not straight up Tolkien fantasy, but it's also not wholly rigid either. Like I'm trying to think of like maybe Morrowind. Morrowind is a pretty unique setting for an RPG. Somewhere in between. Aside from that, I don't know what else there to say. The pitch video is done pretty well. It's that's a trailer for the game, and the game itself, I think, is not too big and not too small. I mean, they're not going to be creating a single, a really in-depth single-player campaign with a story wrapped around it. It's going to be straight-up multiplayer. You can play single-player practice, and then you can play like practice rounds casually against the AI. And then if you head online, you can play ranked normal games, which is you customize your own deck, so it's a constructed format, and you play against other players. Or you can play ranked draft, which, if you don't know, draft is like you get a random set of cards and you just create a deck with what you have, and you just compete against other people who have done the same. And yeah, I mean, this looks really interesting. I pretty much just put in a little pledge on this right away, since this pretty much ticks off all the checkboxes that I look for in a game that I will play personally. Yeah, what do you guys think? I think I've talked enough about this, and I want to get you guys' opinions on this.
Well, at first I was pissed off
that you took this game, because when I saw it, I wanted to talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, right away from the visuals, like, the art's great, the animations are fantastic. I initially thought about, is it called Transistor? The that one game that's being worked on right now, that like the color palette kind of reminds me of it. Just super rich, saturated colors, very vibrant, and just amazing visual effects going on when you do attacks. I saw like one attack happen, and it caused like this bright beam to explode, and it caused like multiple explosions, and you could just see the shadows of all the characters around, like moving quickly. All that, just really great feedback, which is really important for I think like a turn-based combat system, because the action isn't going to be super fast-paced, or like you're not going to get a lot of excitement from that, but you will, like, seeing the actions take place will be pretty cool. That's something that I felt like Scrolls was kind of lacking in, but I think they're kind of nailing it with this game. So the look of it's cool. Definitely, it kind of has like a bit of like an anime feel to it, even though it is pixel art. But like their concept art kind of has that vibe going for it, and also the just like the style of the characters, their poses and everything. I love the guy with 2 shields, that guardian guy. Awesome characters. I think I'll be chipping in for this one as well. It sounds like a solid team behind it, so I'm confident that they'll end up producing a game.
Well, and that $15 early bird special seems like it's a no-brainer. Quite a few of us have come from a pretty strong, trading card game background. There's a couple of games that we've played. I think Clinton mentioned Scrolls have kind of similar attributes, but I think it kind of. I guess I haven't played too many of these strategy game-based situations where you're actually able to move the character completely around the board. I guess maybe, what did I play last? I'm not going to remember. But I guess maybe one game I've played, but each character has a certain amount of movement, which I thought was like an element of chess, which is neat. And I guess the only thing I have a question about is pertains to the artwork. I noticed that they almost supply 2 different versions of the artwork. They have like a concept art, I guess, version of the characters that they've kind of showcased, and they also have the actual in-game render version. Which is there a reason you think that there's a difference between that concept art? Because they could have drawn that as the in-game artwork, right?
I would have to imagine that the pixel art render is when you actually summon the unit board, but then when you actually see it as a card, you might get the really nice illustration on the card. I mean that's what I would want, but they don't really show a lot of what the actual cards look like from screenshots. I don't think they even show it in the video, so that could be something that they're still working on.
Anybody notice that the Bloodborne General looks like Beauty and the Beast? It's like the Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Kind of, yeah.
But with
some of the characters kind of have
arms.
Some of the characters kind of in the video look like Akuma to me from Street Fighter, like the big thick brow.
Yeah. Does that have that sort of like?
I like it. I like that. That's not a knock on it.
Yeah, the art is definitely familiar, but also unique at the same time. It's really interesting.
So, Remi, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, all I can say is that I'm really excited about the way that this game looks. I mean, the art is amazing for what I've seen. I really like how the backgrounds of if it's a board, I guess, it's like hand drawn, and the characters are like pixel based. But one of the things I really like is that the animations are very fluid. Even though it's pixel based, you can like kind of feel the motion of each character if you look at the video. So I really enjoy the way this game looks. I don't know how it's gonna feel like, if it's similar to Scrolls, because I haven't played that many games like this, but I'm definitely excited about the art style, and I bet it's gonna be pretty fun as well.
Yeah,
guys-
yeah.
Have you heard
Sorry.
of Card Hunter?
Yeah, I played a bit of Card Hunter.
Heard of it,
Okay.
never played it.
Yeah, I'm curious if this is. It kind of has that same vibe, maybe.
Yeah, free plug for those of you who have not tried Card Hunter. It's a great game, browser game, free to play, and you don't really feel like you have to pay anything actually to enjoy the game. So yeah, it's been out for several months now, so definitely check that one out. But I just wanted to wrap up discussion on Duelyst. Interesting that it's coming out for PC, Mac, as I guess a client install, and it'll be available as a browser-based game on Chrome and Firefox. And something else that they tout is their business model, which they're stressing is not pay to win. So I think this is a game that is a pay once, play forever type of deal, and to unlock all the cards, you basically just have to put in the time. So that's a nice, refreshing change from the usual CCG business model, and we'll see if they can pull it off and retain the balance and get people interested enough to actually pay money right off the gate to play this.